It's a big misconception about Shakur Stevenson. Shakur Stevenson wants his fan base to believe that he is actually looking for the biggest fights in boxing. Shakur Stevenson got the public fooled into thinking he is one of the most skilled fighters in the sport of boxing. His track record shows otherwise.
What's up, bud?
But Coach Kenny Ellis was on Cigar Talk today. Shout out to Najee from Cigar Talk. Best boxing interviewer in the game, hands down. Coach Kenny made a very interesting point. He was talking to the fans about people actually comparing Gervonta Davis with Shakur Stevenson, and he let y'all know there is no comparison.
Tank is faster than Shakur. Tank is faster. Tank is faster, he's bigger, he's stronger, he's smarter. He ain't got nothing on Tank.
Can none of y'all disagree with Coach Kenny? The proof is in the pudding that Gervonta Davis could adapt to any style. Gervonta Davis could adapt to big fighters like Mario Barrios. Gervonta Davis could adapt to short fighters like Pitbull Cruz. Gervonta Davis could adapt to moving fighters like Frank Martin. Shakur Stevenson couldn't adapt to Edwin De Los Santos on a Thursday.
Why, kid? Why?
And y'all gotta give Coach Kenny his flowers. I don't care what y'all say. Y'all might think it is just Gervonta Davis and Coach Calvin. Shout out to Coach Calvin, but I think that Coach Kenny is the reason that Gervonta Davis strategically breaks down his opponents and ends up stopping them. Coach Kenny got one of the best boxing minds in the history of the sport. But everybody check out what Coach Kenny said about Shakur Stevenson and Gervonta Tank Davis in terms of scorecards. We all know that they say Gervonta Davis loves to give away rounds in his fights. Y'all are always talking about, yo, Tank Davis was losing in the beginning of the fight, and then the man scored the big shot. What would happen if Shakur Stevenson was down on them scorecards?
As far as the 50-50 thing, they can't be 50-50 if Tank can punch and Shakur can't punch. They both can box. They both got a great IQ. Let's say Tank is behind and he got to get himself out of trouble, and that motherfucking hammer going to get him out of trouble. Now let's say Shakur is behind and he got to get himself out of trouble. How's he going to get himself out of trouble? He don't have no hammer. So they're not 50-50. They can't be 50-50.
I bet y'all Coach Kenny just made a lot of y'all Shakur Stevenson fanboys think really hard right now. I bet y'all Coach Kenny just made a lot of y'all Devin Haney fans think really hard right now. Imagine that. Imagine Shakur Stevenson down on that scorecards. Do you think that Shakur Stevenson got the firepower like Gervonta Davis to end the fight with one single shot? Do you think that Devin Haney, if he was down on them scorecards, got the firepower to end the fight with one single shot like Gervonta? Now, you know damn well that that would never happen. Shakur can't punch his way out of a wet paper bag.
It hurts. You're not a pay-per-view star.
A lot of old school cats in the game call it the Great Eraser. The reason they call it the Great Eraser is because no matter what you do against Gervonta Davis, no matter how many points you score, no matter how many rounds you win against Gervonta Davis, Tank Davis got the Great Eraser. He gonna erase all that with one single punch.
I'm dangerous.
Just put it like this. Ain't no 50-50 fight with Shakur Stevenson and Tank Davis. It's more like 99-1. 99% to Gervonta, 1% for Shakur Stevenson, a.k.a. the softest fighter in today's boxing.
I have no respect for this guy, bro.
Shout out to High Level Boxing on Twitter. The man tweeted out, Abdullah Mason, with 15 fights, has already more knockouts than Shafraud at 20 fights. I just thought I'd throw that in there. Factual piece of information. Like I said, Shakur Stevenson can't punch his way out of a wet paper bag.
This is the way I am.
And y'all know how Shakur Stevenson is looking for a quality opponent right now. The man ain't got to fight. The man is scared to fight Gervonta, so he looking for a cherry. Shakur Stevenson tweeted out, "This is who small brain idiots like y'all would be happy for me to stay busy fight with." He talking about Frank Martin. 18 wins, 1 loss. That loss came from Gervonta. Wanna know what's crazy? Shakur Stevenson was desperately trying to make a fight with Frank Martin.
Not Devin Haney.
A couple y'all pulled this up on Twitter today. Heavy is the head on Twitter tweeted, "You one of my favorite fighters, Shakur Stevenson, but you just talking. Tank's resume is better than yours, that's a fact. And you just tried to fight Frank Martin. Frank is a very big risk and is one of the best in y'all division." Shakur Stevenson said, "One of the best in our division? And what makes you believe that? We haven't even seen him in front of another southpaw, truthfully. And I had Frank Martin and Edwin De Los Santos on the table, but I chose Frank Martin because I thought it would be an easier fight.
This nigga's scared.
For a lot of y'all Shakur Stevenson fans, this may be going over y'all head. I do not expect y'all to get it because y'all are fanboys of Shakur Stevenson. Shakur Stevenson is basically admitting that he had no intention of fighting Edwin De Los Santos. Shakur Stevenson only fought Edwin De Los Santos because Frank Martin got the Gervonta Tank Davis fight. That is exactly why he ran from Edwin De Los Santos all 12 rounds. Shakur Stevenson is basically admitting that he was scared of Edwin De Los Santos from the jump. But y'all don't want to talk about that.
Fuck you, dumbass nigga.
And low key, I feel like Shakur Stevenson is now scared of Frank Martin. Talking about, yo, why would Frank Martin be a stay busy fight? Because you was trying to fight the man in the first place. Shakur Stevenson fears Frank Martin even though Frank Martin just got knocked out. But like I've been saying, y'all Shakur Twitters and fans never want to talk about things like this. You want to act like the man is some type of great fighter in the sport of boxing. Like I've been saying, Shakur Stevenson is the softest individual in boxing. He got y'all boxing fans fooled. Y'all think he want to make the big fights, but you already know how that goes.
They think they gonna get $30 million.
You ain't never gonna get $30 million. You just scared of Gervonta Tank Davis. Don't y'all ever mention Shakur Stevenson in the same sentence with the face of the sport of boxing. There is no competition. Gervonta Davis versus Shakur Stevenson is not a 50-50 fight. It is 99-1.
I don't like to lose.